all know that the Chinese character are categorized as logogram and deep orthography, which means that it doesn't reveal the pronunciation. That's why one of the reasons the learner feel it is difficult to acquire. And also another thing to consider is that Chinese character writing, there are specific strokes, and you have to follow the specific order, and also you have to know the combination of radical, how it combines. So these are the difficulties we've been talking about when we are teaching Chinese. And open student, I have students that who care about the stroke order, as long as end product is the correct, it's good. But I have a question about that. And so background, so there is a Chinese character recognition study. It's from the neuro-linguistic perspective, and they nowadays all agree that the visual word from area in the left fuchsia gyrus are selectively responsible for visual word in alphabetic script as well as logographic script. So in the way our brain function, it doesn't matter logograph or the alphabet-based language, but what caused the difference is my question too. And so there is a study done by He et al. 2011, study about Chinese and Korean character engage the same. Their study showed that engage the same visual word form area in Chinese and Korean bilingual. So characteristic about Korean writing system Hangul is that it considered as shallow orthography, same as the English, we have 24 letters. However, the way we combine the syllable block is quite similar to Chinese in terms of shape and the location. So that's why their rationale is that if the Chinese Korean bilingual, they are using the same area of brain, maybe we as a human being we will recognize the orthography in the same way. And there is also study about the eye tracking movement of the reading process. But most existing eye movement study investigate either how native speaker process their first language or how non-native speaker process English reading. So if you search for literature review, most of the data we will find is that how ESL learner, EFL learner will process the English reading. And also those study often focuses on parsing ability and then learners' reading strategy. So how they navigate the text. And actually that was my original intent for this project, but I will tell you later, I had to switch my research direction due to the equipment issue. And also, and meanwhile, I also found that Ma and Cheng 2015, How Forms and Structure of Chinese Character Affect Eye Movement Control. This study investigates Taiwanese native Chinese speaker, how they process the Chinese character. Their study has in Chinese character design in mind, what kind of font will be more effective, such as when you're using in the road sign, which one people will respond quickly. But I often struggle with the student. They cannot navigate two different Chinese font style. So sometimes I will show you the data later. Sometimes they obsess this particular like thick stroke, and then they are sometimes I found that they are coloring that area too. And it also happens in Korean writing as well. Students cannot distinguish really early stage of the acquisition. They think that these two different same shape between two different fonts they recognize as two different sets. So I wonder that if I duplicate their study and recruit the Chinese as a second or foreign language learner, how they will respond. So that is the base of my presentation today. And there's another thing I often struggle with the student: stroke sequence and stroke order. Students always say, it doesn't matter, anyway we type. And also, as long as I at the end write correctly, it's okay. So my initial research question, I have kind of sort of rough answer in my dissertation. So I couldn't find there is the correlation between if you follow the stroke order, stroke sequence, there will be the accuracy will increase. there is no correlation there. However, if you follow the stroke sequence, you will write much faster. So, and the recent studies et al., they also found out that if the student follow the stroke sequence, they will perform much better in their writing, the Chinese character writing. So, but I wanted to know that then how we perceive the character actually will be transferred to our writing process. That was my question. So the reason is that we as a teacher, we develop a lot of flash movie thing. Like this is how you write the Chinese character. We play and then here is the video material. You go home and then watch it and then follow the step. But I seldom see a student following that. But they say that they watched it. Then where is the connection go? So that was another answer I wanted to find. So far, this is the previous study about Chinese character writing, character recognition, and character learning strategy. And there is more works are published in relation to the computer and Chinese writing at this moment. So some of all of my previous background and literature review, I come up with these 4 questions. Will forms of Chinese character will influence learners' reading process? Because Chinese character, radical, you can put side, left and right, or top, middle, bottom manner. So is this kind of shape will influence the learner's recognition? And will participants follow the stroke sequence without stroke sequence instruction? I have this question in mind. Students watch that instructional video, how to write the Chinese character following the right stroke order. Why they don't perform? Or they intuitively they know how to do it. So that was my question too. And the third question, will participants prior Chinese character knowledge will influence their character reading, such that you take like 1 semester of Chinese and then you stop taking it. How much you will remember? You will apply that into writing later on. And the last one is there a relationship between their process of character and the writing. So if I investigate their eye track, if they follow the right stroke sequence, are they going to write in the manner they read the Chinese character? So that is my last question. So I recruit 19 college students with various linguistic background. There's one Chinese native speaker. I will use her as a guideline. And then there are 10 participants are able to read Hangul. There are 4 Korean native speakers, and then there are 4 Chinese and English speakers. They are learning Korean. So I wonder knowing the Korean Hangul will help them to recognize Chinese character, vice versa. And I try to duplicate Huang and Ma's study, and they categorize Chinese character into the 7 module type: unitary, enclosed, left and right, above, below, left, middle and right, above, middle and below, and L-shaped module. And since this study is conducted in Taiwan, they use the traditional Chinese character. So since I wanted to be copied as close as possible, even though my students are learning simplified Chinese character, I adopt their questionnaire as well as one of their hypotheses that if there is more crossing of the stroke, people will spend more time to looking at that portion. So I wonder, actually, learner is doing the same way. And procedure was, I did a background survey, linguistic background, and added tutor to Chinese reading and writing. And because of the characteristic of my university, there was no monolingual in my study. At least they are heritage learner of Japanese and Chinese or Arabic, and they study minimum 2 languages. Average they study 3, and one student even study 5 languages. So they are linguistically very aware of other orthography. And I also, this is the reason I had to switch my research project, is that if you are interested in eye tracking movement, you know that the equipment is quite expensive. So I try to find the low end, and then it wasn't allowing me to the parsing study because they cannot calibrate eyes better. So one of the reasons I have this small number of participants is that I spend so much time calibrating their eyes when they read a Chinese character. And so I contact the developer. They said I should use big monitor instead of small ones. I use 24-inch monitor. So entire 24 monitor is one Chinese character. So, and I put these 7 characters in one doc file. The original study is that their machine allowed them to show that 3 seconds for each character and then disappear. But if I do that, I wonder the student has zero knowledge of Chinese. They may not able to capture all things and then moving on to the next character. Also, I wanted to see how much time they spend on each character. So students read basically 7 separate files, and they will scroll down when they are done with the characters. And then experiment began after calibration. One of the reasons I separate into the 7 files is that calibration was a huge issue for my study. And since there is a student with zero knowledge of Chinese characters, so I select 3 characters from each file and ask them to copy it using the smart pen. Smart pen is allow the learner capture the learner's handwriting movement, for example, but you are writing still on the paper, but there was camera behind of the ink categories, so you can record it. So after they write it, so they are not doing that I'm recording it, they are just writing in natural way. And then I can connect that pen to the computer, and then computer will transfer the live file. This student has zero knowledge of Chinese character, but he is a qualified learner of Arabic language. And as you can see, couple of students with zero knowledge of Chinese character, they try to copy the font exactly same way presented to them. So he even sometimes go back and then retouch upon the strokes. And then I will show you later one of the problematic of the character sequence is that the box shape is the most student create the error. So and it roughly take 1 hour and then 1 hour and 30 minutes to complete all the tests because they also have to read the Korean Hangul. And so the result is that the first question, will forms of Chinese character will influence learners' reading process, such as total number of fixation, like how long they will look at that particular areas, how long they will spend on that particular character. And so I calculate the average time for each category, and the Ma and Chung study with the native speaker, their study showed that the native speakers spend less time L-shaped and enclosed than compared to left-right combination and above and below. However, my participants, they spend above, middle, bottom less, and unitary and above, bottom. So different from the native study, they spend more time on enclosed shape. And also they create more error when they're writing the enclosed shape. And I think that's the one difference between native speaker and non-native speaker. But again, my participants, half of them, they know how to write Hangul, maybe the Korean letter, maybe there will be another influence there. And will participant follows stroke sequence without stroke sequence instruction. I didn't tell them anything. For those participants have zero knowledge with the Chinese character, I tell them consider that you are in the first class in Chinese language class. Try to look at it as if you will remember this character, and then you will look up in dictionary or looking at the computer later. So just pay attention. Try to remember this character. So that's what I explained to them. And interesting finding is that all 18 participants I movement match with the stroke sequence. I was so shocked at the 3 students had zero prior knowledge of Chinese character. They even follow the stroke pattern of the stroke sequence. But however, the eye tracker certain point they could not capture outline of the enclosed shape. I don't know why enclosed shape is always missing the box in outside. So I have to go back and double check with my participant. So this is my the sample of the finding. So another thing I also found is as the math study, they spend most of time in the cross-section area as well. But the machine somehow didn't capture the outline, all of the participants. I asked them, did you see the outline? And I think that they learned from the study. They said, I know that this will be outlined, so I skipped that portion. So I think that, wow, then what did we do? We spend a lot of time create those flash media so that students can learn, but intuitively they know that how to follow the stroke sequence. Then why they don't transfer that knowledge to the writing? I know that perception production is two different things, but that is further question I wanted to investigate later. And the third question, will participant prior Chinese character knowledge will influence their character reading? And I know that I only have 18 participants. It's not statistically powerful to do the t-test, but I did anyway. But indeed, there is the difference between in terms of how much they spend on time on reading each character. Participant with the Chinese character knowledge, they perform much better than non-native. However, it's the participant number was too few to determine that, but it showed that Chinese heritage learners spend less time CFL learner. And interesting is that who has a Korean knowledge, they will perform better than the participant with a non-Korean letter knowledge. And is there a relationship between their process of the character and their writing? And I also did the Pearson's correlation, but there is no significantly correlate to how much they spend on reading and the writing. But one thing I have noticed is that here, non-native 6, 7, 8, 9, they never study Chinese, but they spend less time than other non-native or participants who didn't study Chinese. So, limitation of my study is that, as I mentioned in the beginning, because it's low end of the eye tracking machine and the analysis program as well, I have to do many things manually. I have to confirm it again with the students, so maybe it will hinder the capturing the reaction time. And another thing is the number of participants. I only have 18 participants, so it is hard to draw the statistically meaningful data. also some participants who are not currently taking Chinese classes, they claim that my teacher said if I study Chinese 2 years, I supposed to know how many characters, but I forget everything. So that's one of their comments, and maybe that also influenced their judgment or the reaction time. And also, my students who took the Chinese in our university, they use simplified character, and now they have to read the traditional character, so they think that it's really they said that I forgot everything. That was their first reaction, because some characters are written in the traditional character, and one native speaker said that a couple of the traditional characters she doesn't know what it means. So maybe I have to consider about traditional character versus simplified character. Conclusion and implication, it seems that the process of Chinese character reading does not transfer to the writing process. And so that's why we, as the Hong et al. Study showed that we have to do the handwriting training in order to get the stroke sequence right. And because they have the study done in the student have to go through the looking at the computer program, have to do handwriting, and then they will take a test. Versus just looking at the program, and then student, they don't need to do handwriting and then take a test. And then of course the student with the handwriting training perform much better in terms of Chinese writing. And non-native speaker process Chinese character differently, according to my study. However, maybe because my participants know the Korean, so if you conduct with the Chinese learner, their everyone is English, maybe the result will be different. But it seems that learners have different pattern compared to the native speaker. As Ma and Chang 2015 discussed, learner also spend more time to process character with the crossings. And then I found out that I use exactly same font Ma and Chang used, and it seems that they are confused by particular stroke pattern, which is not crucial, such as you are writing Chinese calligraphy, so emphasizing the aesthetic of the stroke sequence. They also feel that that is very crucial, so they have to copy. I have students, we touch upon many things in the writing. Future study I wanted to conduct is that the CFL learner with a different orthographic background, how they will process the Chinese character. I have a student has the Arabic language background and only has alphabet language background. Arabic participant with Arabic language background perform better than the Romance language background. So I wonder that because the Arabic orthography is different from the alphabet-based language, maybe it will trigger the difference. Also, as well as font design, maybe we need to consider it because students are distracted by particular shape of the character and the stroke. So, and I would like to say thank you for the University of Notre Dame to support to purchase and the machine and then to conduct this study. My goal is that this is my initial study, so I would like to have your feedback and improve it, and then write a paper and then reapply, and now I would like to purchase Toby eye tracker, not this low end one. But low end one, I think it would be meaningful if you wanted to look at the students are looking at which website, which area they are focusing on. I think this machine is doing well for testing that area when we are developing the teaching material.